Bonjour everyone, welcome to the instant reaction after that absolute Sunday League snooze fest. If you haven't fallen asleep in your plate of gravy by now over Yorkshire puddings, I'd be surprised because that was absolutely lifting. Said it in the preview, I called it a 1-0 either way actually, and it could have been if either team actually tried to attack, or more likely if West Brom had a decent striker, to be fair. But this is just beyond a fucking joke now, it really is. I mean, Brucey's smiling at the end there after a 0-0 against West Brom. He's smiling and patting the West Brom players on the back, thanking them for not scoring, basically, I think. Thanking them for keeping them in the job again. I mean, even if you lost the day, would you got the sack? Personally, I don't think so, because actually Charlie haven't got the balls to do it, haven't got the gamble, the money, they want to do it. But again, the day we're turning up, and this is West Brom. Okay, this is 19th place West Brom. This is second bottom of the league, West Brom. This is a team that had the least shots on target all season. They've had the most shots conceded all season. They've had 3 wins all season, and we go there with no intent to win a game of football whatsoever. We'll go there with no strikers on the pitch. We played Joe Willock, who'd never played up there in his life, in a false 9 role. Didn't work, took too long to change it. We're not even getting to the subs yet because that never happened. And we'll go there. Brucey doesn't want to win. Brucey doesn't want to know about getting 3 points. He's buzzing with that 0-0. Absolutely over the moon with it. It's an absolute disgrace whenever you're not going to beat West Brom. If you're not going to go to the Hawthorns and try and win a game, where are you going to go and win? Where are you going to go and get 3 points? You don't deserve. We deserve to be in the mix when you go and have that ideology, when you go and have that method of playing football, of setting your tone out for a match, is to draw against West Brom, is to draw against someone in the bottom 3. We had the chance today. We've been so lucky this week with results, with Fulham not winning, West Brom not winning, Brighton not winning last night. Us to just start focusing on ourselves and just steer away. Fulham are currently playing Liverpool. They've got a hard set of fixtures. Newcastle, Wolves and West Brom in a week. 2 points. 2 points, just not good enough, man. And today, more importantly, not good enough getting a point away to West Brom, because Villa next, we never do anything against them. Not a great record against them. Today, focus on ourselves, get 6 points clear at least. Like, what we're playing at, man, what we're playing at in that whole game there. And Brucey sitting on the sidelines, content with a 0-0. No subs. One sub, Gale made at a decent time. Never give him a chance though. Never give him a sniff to score a goal. Just create a goal, do nothing. And then you've got Carroll, Richie, Murphy all sitting on the bench, and Brucey's like, nah, this is crushing this. I don't need to make any changes. Got a 0-0 against West Brom. Lovely stuff. Honestly, Kay, you're going to have to go take over before going full rant mode, because I can't be arsed this shit anymore.
Mate, like, I just don't understand this game in general from start to finish. Like, we knew it was going to be awful. Proper Bruce v. Allardyce. We knew it was never going to be a classic. We knew it was going to be boring, awful, scrappy. But I expected someone to go for it. Like, we're both fighting relegation here. Like, West Brom are in pretty deep. I think it's going to take a miracle for them to get out, but 3 points would have been an absolute massive lift for them. We are out of it. We're 3 points out of it. Like you said, we could have been 6 points out of it with a win. But it's like no manager wanted to win. It was one of the most boring, like, snooze fest, bore draw. That is the definition of a bore draw that I've never seen. A less Premier League standard game in my life. That was absolutely shocking. And I think if we had our key players like Smaxman, Almiron, Wilson, we could have gone to them and we could have absolutely pasted them fucking 3-0 if we had a bit of effort, like the good old Ben Arthur, Bar and Cisse days. Like, we could have absolutely ripped them apart, but we just didn't set up. It's a Willock playing out of position, Hendrick on the field, we're Kraft and Hayden fit. There were doubts coming into the game, but now we'll just chuck them in there. Just absolutely nothing about it. Joe Linton tried a little bit in the final third, but end product was a bit poor. Fraser was whipping crosses into absolutely no one. And like, I had the subs, like bringing Carroll on for the last 20 seconds was just an absolute massive slap in the face, because we could have done with them for 20 minutes, not 20 seconds. What the fuck was the point in that? Might as well just kept him on the bench, because now you're going to have to pay him for a fucking appearance. You know, he's on this pay-as-you-play deal. He's like, oh, Brucey, I could do with me a 25 grand bonus. Like, yeah, no worries, man. I'll get you on for the last 10 seconds, and no worries.
I'm skinned, Steve. Trigger's on. It's like he literally did. He wasted time for a 0-0 there. Bring Carroll on with.
He's paid for us. Like you said, at the end, he was smiling, having a bit of a laugh on with Townsend, their defender. patting him on the back, having a smile on the sidelines, and he took stick for the Man United game, having a laugh with Ollie Solskjaer at the end of it. Same thing there, having a laugh with their players, their defenders, having a laugh, patting them on the back, smiling and that. Honestly, like we were playing for that 0-0, as we have done all season. Brucey's out of the moon with it. On paper, we've gone up in the league. We're up to 16th now. I think 3 points off Burnley with a game in hand. What you complaining about, man? Spot on. Done the job.
How many points are we off?
We've done what we came here for. That's what we came here to do, and we've done it. So Brucey's out of the moon with it. Yeah, we didn't get beat. Point on the board. Moved up the league. Job done. But that's not
how many points. How many points are we above the relegation zone now? Obviously, Fulham are currently drawn at Anfield.
Yeah, I think
4, innit?
I think that'll be 4 now. I'll just double check. Obviously, Fulham's got their game to play. We're on 27, and as things stand, Fulham's on 24.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, Brucey's banking on them. We'd literally have said that full time when they watch along. Newcastle and Bruce and Ashley are ridiculously lucky that the Premier League this season is so shit. Is that there's worst? Any other 99 out of 100 other seasons, I'm sure Newcastle will be in the bottom 3, maybe even already gone. But because of how bad Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham have been until late, lucky they've had it's took them long to get into it. They've had a bit of a resurgence of late. Found their feet a bit with Parker and made a couple of signings. But until then, we're so lucky that these teams are below it. Because we deserve to be right in the mix, and it's an absolute disgrace, man. Going to teams like West Brom.
McLaren season. Proper Steve McLaren. We've got the league on the screen there on Amazon. 27 points from 27 games. 1 point ahead of Brighton now.
Unreal, isn't it? It's unreal just going to places like West Brom, settling for a draw, playing for 0-0, playing for 0-0 throughout, just totally shaking it.
But we said during the watch along a couple of times, like, it's as if this was like an end of the season game where no one's got anything to play for. Like, both teams are just middle. It's like 10th of the 11th, somewhere in that middle of the table. No one to play for. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get Europa League, so we'll just say it out and just get on our holidays. But both teams are fighting relegation. Like, you honestly wouldn't have thought that there. Like, I've seen better standards. I've seen fucking Blythe Spartans.
Really have.
Really, really poor game from both sides. West Brom were fucking shit as we were. Like, no one wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Everyone's just pumping it along. Poor passing. Even the goalkeepers, Dubravka fucking banged it out for a throw in a couple of times.
Me and you were watching it. We couldn't even pick the man of the match. That's how bad the game was. It was head tennis all the time. They lump it up, we lump it back. They head it out for throwing, we take the throwing. We give it back to them. It's a goal kick. We have a corner. Couldn't keep his hands. The quality of football.
You go, I go.
Absolutely horrendous quality of football. Like, you won't see a worse Premier League game in history on that. I mean, the definition of last on match of the day. That's it. That doesn't even deserve to go on a match of the day. I mean, put that on match of the day extra.
Like, when we came up with Brighton, like, all of our games against Brighton are always fucking stinkers, apart from obviously was it 3-0 earlier this season, not 2-0. That was probably the best game between us two. Every other game's a proper ball draw. And that's up there for me with some of the worst games I've ever seen in the Premier League.
So we quickly breezed through the game because not much happened, but we did make a decent start in terms of we found it easy to get behind West Brom. We were playing a high line. It took 2 simple passes. I think one from Shelby, one from Willock, and we're in. And we created 2 good openings in the first 10-15 minutes. Jordan tries to square it to Fraser. They're obviously saying on Amazon that you should have had a shot and maybe Fraser could have got the tap in. He tries to square it at Fraser, takes a knock off the defender's heel. There's another moment similar to that where we square it and it takes a knock. Julian has a couple of half-hearted chances again, not enough power in his shots or his headers. And then apart from that, we just didn't create enough. And the turning point was when Gale came on and he didn't have a sniff. Why is Richie or Mayfield on there to cross it in? Why is Carroll not up there to assist him? Gale got on the ball once, got a good ball through to Willock. Willock tested the keeper. That's all we did second half. We just didn't compete enough, didn't create enough. It's just so poor to watch, man. I think it literally just summed up our whole 90 minutes there with, 2 chances?
Yeah, pretty
much. West Brom had a good few. West Brom had a good few chances. Diang, blazed one over. Phillips. Yeah, some good chances for West Brom there. But it just, you look at that performance and neither of those managers deserve to be in the Premier League, and neither of those
definitely not.
players on the pitch deserve to be in the Premier League, because it wasn't a Premier League quality game at all.
Yeah, like if this was a matchup in the Championship next season, you would completely believe it. Like these managers, these players, like without our key players as well, like with this kind of formation, this setup, proper Championship style, and we need to sort ourselves out. Hopefully, we can have like Wilson, Maximin, and Almiron back by the end of the international break at the start of April. I'm not gonna put any bets on it. Like I'm not gonna count my chickens. Like, but I wouldn't even surprise you though, because we say like Kraft and Hayden weren't expected to be fit. Manquillo was on the bench today. He was like halfway through his supposed 8-week injury. You just never know with this team. Like Brucey will just shit the bed and probably just chuck them in half fit, probably like redo their injury, and we'll see the season through without them. It just gives you no hope. I just can't even be honest. Like, if we can't win this game, how are we going to win any other game? Like we've got Villa on Friday night. Most games between now and the end of the season are hard up until the last two against Sheffield United and Fulham, which probably will be deadline day must-win games.
Yeah, survival Sunday.
Because
I think we kind of go to West Brom and score against the team with the worst defensive record and all that. Like, you're going to struggle against everyone else. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not hearing this whole thing about, oh well, St. Maximin and that were out, because he didn't start with strikers. He didn't start with Gale. He didn't start with Carey. He didn't start with Jacob Murphy. Didn't even give it a go. Didn't give it a go at all. Had no intention of winning that game.
If we went out that way with some more attacking players on, we could have won that game. We didn't need like our top players, but now it's just negative. Willock playing down the middle, Joelinton, Hendrick. It was like Hayden was playing like on like the left for most of the game. It was just totally like just shuffled the pack for absolutely no reason. I just didn't understand it. Just everything about today just baffled my mind.
And it just continues to be baffling when Bruce is smiling at the end of drawn with West Brom. A must-win game, an easiest win to get for the rest of the season, to get some points on the board, but didn't do.
Nope.
Well, then that'll do, because there's no point in talking about that absolute shower of shite much longer, is there?
I was going to say,
on this one, anyway.
I was going to say, we've already spoke for 12 and a half minutes, so getting the fucking worst, fucking boring game of all time, and like, I think we've done quite well, to be honest. On the back, Ranty.
So we've got player ratings though to come and fan count to come, so stay tuned. Smash the like button, subscribe to the Mac My Channel TV, and enjoy yourselves.